CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer needed a scorecard tonight. Marcia.
Well, Maurice, I call this the no more Mr. Nice Guy debate. With Governor Hochul the prohibitive favorite in the polls, the two men who want her job threw caution to the wind and risked alienated women voters with harsh attacks on the state's first female governor. She held her own, although the debate at times looked like an episode of the Bickersons.
Governor Kathy Hochul, when she was a member of the United States Congress, voted with the NRA, was endorsed by the NRA, and took money from the NRA. She says she's evolved. The only thing that's evolved are the governor's political ambitions.
Those attacks, where do I begin?
It's not an attack, Governor. That's the facts. You were endorsed by the NRA. You took money from the NRA. That's not an attack. That's the facts of the matter. I know you want to slough it off.
Excuse me. It's my turn to answer the question.
Go right ahead. We've been waiting months for you to answer this question.
Please stop interrupting me. The people want to hear my answer.
This gun violence cannot be solved by state legislation alone.
It was just one of several questions, this one about what they would do if the Supreme Court overturns New York's strict gun carry laws that had the Democratic candidates for governor at each other's throats as they talked about housing, crime, inflation, and taxes. With the economy in a tailspin, they were asked what one state tax they would consider lowering to provide relief.
I would cut state income taxes by 10%. And I would reduce property taxes, especially on senior citizens.
I'll tell you one thing I'm not going to do. We're not raising taxes on New Yorkers because they have suffered enough.
I have to be clear, that not raising tax line is a Republican line that's meant to protect rich donors at the expense of people who need the assistance.
Governor Hochul was also attacked over her first decision after succeeding scandal-scarred Andrew Cuomo, picking Brian Benjamin as her lieutenant.
But who is that guy?
He was forced to resign after being
Wait, there's another guy that was
corruption charges. The three were asked if they would accept the endorsement of Cuomo.
No, I would not, because the people of the state want us to look forward.
I would not.
Yes, I would accept his endorsement. I think that he's still very popular among a lot of people in New York State, and while he has a lot of baggage, along with what he's done, he's accomplished a great deal in the state of New York.
Well, that was probably the surprise answer of the night. And while there was a lot of disagreement, there were two things.
Let's go ahead and do right in the middle.
The right to have an abortion should be reserved only for wealthy women. That is why I don't know how you think you can hide from your vote on the Hyde Amendment to support denying Medicaid services.
So is this these are the primaries, so we're just getting a sense of who the current governor is. You had Andrew Cuomo, right? He was like America's governor there for a while, just consoling us and being, the reasonable part. You had, oh, there is no COVID, the liar in chief, right? And then you had Cuomo who was actually telling us the truth, and so it was turned out to be pretty bittersweet though towards the. But Andrew Cuomo steps down and Kathy Hochul is going to stand up. So that's what she was, the lieutenant governor under Andrew Cuomo. So she's going to finish out the Andrew Cuomo term and she would be the incumbent to beat. She also got Working Families that's behind her. She's got the Democratic nomination in Working Families. And then she is running against the Republican and conservative Lee Zeldin. So Lee Zeldin and then Allison Esposito are the running mate, the governor and running mate, and Antonio Delgado is Kathy's running mate. So Kathy Hochul and Antonio Delgado versus Lee Zeldin and Allison Esposito. And so I want to make just really one main point here. 2022 New York gubernatorial. New York City has ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting would make, this isn't a fair election. You got Working Families Party and conservative who has to basically just pick the Republican and Democrat because it's already became a two-party divergers law sort of, thing. It's just the Republicans and Democrats in the New York governor's race. The governor of New York, that's like, everything else but New York City, right? So that's a pretty big deal. The governor of New York, that's like one step away from the American presidency. So Kathy Hochul is going to be the incumbent governor of New York, running with Antonio Delgado. And then that's the one who had won in the Democratic primary. And then you had a Republican primary. And then you had the Libertarian, according to Wikipedia, they said that those were the only two candidates that had made it. They got the conservative primary and then the working families primary. They said, you know, they picked the other ones, but they got the Libertarian Party and the Green Party and additional parties here, and they said they all disqualified. So the Libertarian Party, they're saying it right here on Wikipedia, so you know, but you have Ballotpedia, which is saying something different. Well, they're saying Larry Sharp. You got Kathy Hochul, Larry Sharp, Lee Zeldin, and then Alex Zapisachny, the Unite Party. So you got the Working Families / Democrat Party, the Republicans / Conservative and Independence Party, and then you have the L Party, probably Libertarian, Larry Sharp, and then the Unite Party. Was it Larry Sharp that they said in the Libertarian Party that got disqualified? So according to Wikipedia, Larry Sharp, who's an activist, a businessman, Libertarian nominee for governor in 2018, was disqualified. July 2022, the New York State Board of Elections disqualified Sharp for not meeting the qualifications for ballot access. So now you just have this Alex Zapisachny is the only other person that's running. So this is embarrassing because you got three candidates, right? Republican, Democrat, which is, you know, typical American politics. You got this Unite Party. Maybe he's on the ballot. Maybe he's not. But in Brazil, you have 26 states. Brazil is 210 million people. It's about 2/3 the population of America. 26 states, so it's got more than half the states of America. America's got 50 states. America has 50 states, and Brazil has 26 states. America has 330 million people. Brazil has 210 million people. The fourth largest state in Brazil is Bahia. Bahia has 15 million people that live there. October 2nd is their election. So October, we're gonna see the Bahia election before we see the November general election in America. They have 26 states, 26 governors elections. We have 36 governors elections. So we have 10 more governors elections. They have a bunch of governors elections. We got a bunch of governors elections. They got a presidential election. We don't have a presidential election. Now, the point I'm trying to make here, the governor who's running for Bahia, 15 million people, right? You got Rhode Island has 1 million people. Bahia has 15 million people. So Bahia is 15 times bigger than Rhode Island. You have at least six, 7 political parties. You don't just have the Communist Party. Giovanni D'Amico is the communist. You also have the Workers' Cause Party. Marcelo Millet, the Workers' Cause. Isn't that beautiful? So you got the communist, and you got the socialist, and you got the liberals, and you got the Workers' Party and the Workers' Cause Party. That's fantastic. That's what, 5 very liberal, very left-wing political parties. And then you got the Brazil Union. And then apparently that's the ACM Neto. Neto is the one that's supposed to win the governor's race of Bahia. But how come they got 6 political parties? 6 political parties. The 4th largest state, Brazil. What the fuck? Their democracy is so much better. And then not only do they have 6 political parties, but 5 of them are super left-wing. So Brazil's Union, the Union Party, that's the only conservative party that they got. The Workers' Party, the Workers' Cause Party, the Socialist Party, Socialist and Liberty Party, the Liberal Party, the Brazilian Communist Party, Rosa Kleber, Joe Roma, Geronimo Rodriguez, AMC Neto. So the 4th largest state in Brazil, Bahia, has a governor's race. Just like New York State has a governor's race. But instead of just having 2 candidates, maybe 1 extra, which, third party, they don't have a chance anyways. Even if you had ranked choice voting, In Brazil, in one of their states, Bahia, they got 6. What, you've never been to Bahia? No, Bahia. You got 5, and then you also have 5 political parties for the senator. So you got the senator's race, 5 political parties, 5 political parties, 6 political parties for the governor's race. 6 political parties for the governor's race. And here, Larry Sharp got kicked out. There is no Larry Sharp. And then let's just check out this Alex Zapisachny. Let's just see if there's any videos on him, and then check to see if there's any videos on Lee Zeldin. Oh, Lee Zeldin. I played Zelda. Is Lee Zeldin something like playing Zelda on Nintendo? Alex, not Ales. Come on now. Zapisachny. Zaporizhia. So you have Alex Versace, governor. Part of the Unite Party. Party the Unite Party. Let's see. Video now 1 year ago, 4 hours ago. Not seeing very much. Not seeing very much. Governor Raimondo, Dr. Alexander Scott. Okay, so his name doesn't come up. Nothing comes up under with YouTube. So that's not good. That can't be good. Additional parties, does it say Unite Party? Said Harry Wilson was with John Bullis, so they got different names, but they said they rejected it in July 2022. So Unite Party was rejected. Libertarian Party was, you just got two. You just got two. You got Andrew Cuomo's successor, Kathy Hochul, and then you got Lee Zeldin. So let's, I guess that makes it easy, huh? Just flip a damn coin. Who's going to be the next governor of New York State? New York, New York. The New York Apple. The Big Apple. Oh, no, that's the New York City. New York, New York. So we are typing in Lee Zeldin. Come on now, let's be serious, okay? This is American politics. These people are serious people. All right, let's just see what this...
Politics, the primary elections will be here before you know it, but how much do you really know about the candidates running for New York governor?
All this week, News 12 senior reporter Tara Rosenblum is profiling the men and women eyeing the state's top job. We begin tonight with Congressman Lee Zeldin.
We need to provide tax relief. Cost of living has to come down.
He left the state Senate to serve in Congress. Now Lee Zeldin wants to go back to Albany, this time as governor. He thinks voters are craving changes after several years of one-party Democratic rule.
People are fed up. They want to change the course of the state.
Zeldin is an Iraqi war veteran who was elected to Congress in 2014 and went on to champion stronger health care benefits for veterans and environmental protections for his native Long Island coastlines. But the centerpiece of his current campaign is law and order.
We had someone released on an arson and then rearrested shortly thereafter for a double manslaughter in Yonkers.
Zeldin's outrage over New York's cash bail reform law on full display at February's GOP convention in Garden City.
People are losing their lives, their livelihoods. They don't feel safe on their streets.
His message played well at the convention. In the end, Zeldin captured 85% of the delegates' votes, becoming the official Republican designee for New York's top job. After his victory, I asked him if he liked his chances of winning the general election, considering the Democrats' more than 2-to-1 enrollment advantage and the Republicans' 20-year losing streak. The Republicans have not won statewide office in 2 decades. Why are you so bullish on your chances?
We have one-party rule right now in D.C., Albany, and New York City. This is the first time in my lifetime that there's been this alignment going into a midterm. And regardless of whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, people want to feel safe on our streets.
Zeldin represents a once pro-Donald Trump district, the eastern half of Suffolk County, and supported the former president's attempt to overturn the 2020 elections. For that reason, some of Zeldin's more moderate GOP opponents believe he'd carry a significant political liability should he win the primary and move on to the general.
So there's a little of 12 News's comments turned off. So no democracy, 12 News's Republican primary. Let's see, anything else about Zeldin in the next 3 minutes? What do we got with Zeldin here? What do we got with Zeldin? GOP attacked at rally. Okay, that's interesting, huh?
There's only one option. You're done. You're done. You're done.
Go now.
So then I guess everybody started stomping that guy. And what was Lee Zeldin doing? He was just staring at the guy. The guy's got a knife. You're done. No, you're done. And then the guy, he's just kind of looking at him, looking at the knife, looking at him. And I think he might have, what happened to him? He might have got jabbed. He might have got jabbed a little bit. which means he endured a bigger injury. I don't know if you saw that Kirchner thing. Let's end it off with that. Kirchner, this is Christina Kirchner. She apparently, you know, she was the prime minister. She's like a socialist, the pink wave. And a long time ago, right? So this is like 10, 20 years ago, she was the prime minister or the president. Now she's under corruption charges, right? The other political party, they always do that in Latin America, South America. The other political party gets in and then they try to take out the other political party, which is, I don't know, I kind of like America's sense that we kind of keep on moving forward. And you're supposed to glance in the rearview mirror, not just stay in the rearview mirror, just glance at it, but keep on moving forward. Anyways, and also I think that Christina Kirchner probably was vindicated after this. It's like, okay, she wins her trial. Nah, she wins her trial. If you're trying to punish her, you know, having a mock execution, that's a pretty big punishment right there. So she, this is recently, this is like a week or two ago or something. Somebody just pointed a gun and went click, and it malfunctioned. Gun right in her face, pulled the gun, and then the people are bewildered. Nobody stopped the first thing, so really if he was able to pull the trigger, who knows if he was just supposed to scare her or something. Apparently he's like got some Nazi tattoo. I'm not sure if we ever figured out what the reason was. But she is on, you know, trial for corruption, so maybe it was just general hatred, the hullabaloo, you know, the trial hullabaloo, all the... But only after, you know, it took a second. The guy points the gun at her, and then it takes a second for everybody else to kind of figure out. So really, you know, she almost mock execution, right? Didn't they do that with Christopher Moltisanti? Took him down, put a pistol, mock execution. So that's a pretty big punishment right there. Okay, you did some corruption. Okay, somebody about shot you. Somebody about shot you. That's a... Okay, not guilty. Acquitted on all charges. Let's stop the charge. Let's start this. I mean, even if you were to say guilty, what do you want? Her to sit in jail for a year? I mean, this is worse. This is worse. Why don't you have somebody play Russian roulette with her life with a loaded gun? It had five bullets. Why are you sitting right there? You're not even hurt. You're not even hurt. You acted all crazy. I swear my dog's trying to get workman's comp. He lays right behind my foot when his spot is right there. Okay, anyways. Yeah, was I on a roll? Was I on a roll? So, compare and contrast, man, that Lee Zeldin. That's awful. Let's see how Lee Zeldin... let's see what happened after the attack. That's, okay, I wasn't interested in his campaign. Now I'm kind of... New poll shows that Governor Hochul with a 4-point lead. They're predicting a bloodbath. This is the midterm elections. Anytime you go from Republican to Democrat, the House and maybe the Senate goes the opposite direction. That's historical, so you can't. And it makes sense too, right? All those fucking, you know, right-wing reactionary sons of bitches are like, oh my God, a right-wing conservative president? We want a batshit fucking psychotic Confederate racist. Dirty, rotten criminal president. We don't want a conservative, a nice, steady conservative hand. Well, I don't care if Obama ran the country like Ronald Reagan or not. To hell with Ronald Reagan. Wait, what kind of Republican are you? A crazy, batshit crazy one. The conservative Democrats have fucking made the Republicans lose their goddamn minds. So, Lee Zeldin attacked by man at New York campaign event 1 month ago. NBC News. I want to get some follow-up on that. So, I'm not going to watch this, but I'm going to try to see if a suggested video. 36 governors' campaigns. Rhode Island, Texas, Vermont, Maine, Florida, Michigan, New York. New York, New York. Where's your democracy? New York, New York. What do you want, Lee Zeldin? Do you want Lee Zeldin to be the governor? You're done. You're done. And who is this fucking weird-ass redneck? And what was the fucking reason? What was the fucking reason? Why did he do this? And he basically had him, right? You know, Lee Zeldin's just kind of looking at him, and the guy's looking at him. I mean, he fucked up his moment. They both did. They both did. I mean, they don't know how to... They need to take a lesson from the Japanese. And the only thing that guy had was like a little pointed, like a little plastic pointed thing, a shank. So he could have, you know, he could have ended him. He could have ended him. But it's not like a fucking gun in your face, right? And some people were freaking out. He's got a gun! He's got a gun! Let's see, Lee Zeldin attack. In fact, that actually was probably the best thing for his campaign. Added some excitement to his campaign. I wonder if he probably paid him to do it. So it said he was attacked 1 month ago. Lee Zeldin speaks out after being attacked. Okay. NBC News.
Congressman and GOP gubernatorial candidate Lee Zeldin attacked mid-sentence.
You're done.
Capturing the moment, a man holding a sharp object approaches a congressman. Zeldin, who was unharmed in the attack, describing that object as a weapon.
I noticed he had a weapon in his hand.
It was just tiny little shank.
It had 2 holes where he had 2 fingers through the holes. It had 2 sharp dagger-like.
And look at that. It's like a little cat, like a little pointed cat thing. Like brass knuckles. That would hurt. That would hurt to get, you know, jacked in the head, jacked in the throat. And then look at him, like the guy's pulling his arm. He's like, "Oh, you're not gonna pull my arm." And he did. He did yank him down, didn't he?
David Jacobonis. He was subdued and restrained with zip ties. Jacobonis charged with attempted second-degree assault. The sheriff later releasing him on his own recognizance overnight. After the incident, Zeldin returning to the stage to finish his...
Damn, like Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt got shot, kept on speaking.
I went to go finish the speech. I think it's important for us to always be standing up for what we believe in, not to be intimidated.
It's unclear why Zeldin was targeted, but the attack comes against a backdrop of heightened political tensions across the country. An Ipsos online survey on behalf of the Violence Prevention Research Program found that roughly 20% of respondents consider political violence to be, in general, at least sometimes justified, with 12% saying they would be somewhat willing to resort to violence themselves. But Governor who Zeldin is challenging and President Biden both condemning the attack. Biden adding, violence has absolutely no place in our society or our politics.
I believe that political scores should be settled at the ballot box. I don't believe that there's any room in this country, in this state, in politics, for there to be violence on a campaign trail.
And tonight, there's still a lot of unanswered questions, like what may have motivated the suspect to attack Zeldin. Also, it's still unclear if Jacobonis is represented by an attorney.
Now, this is my favorite example in the world to talk about. Greg Giaforte. People freaked out about Will Smith attacking, you know, Chris Rock. It's an assault. It's an assault. But Greg Giaforte, he was running for U.S. Congress, and a damn reporter from The Guardian, like a fucking, you know, prestigious, you know, one of the main outlets, and he was like, "I'm sick of you guys." And he got mad. Greg Giaforte took the guy and body slammed him, and then the guy's like, he just body slammed me, and he's like, "Okay, I want to get your all's names and information, and then I'm going to call the police," and then they're like, "You better get out of here. You better get out of here." And then he got like some slap on the wrist, and he got like a attempted assault, kind of like with this guy, attempted assault. But what he had to do, like actually 40 hours of community service, and he had to pay a fine. He actually had to do a couple things, but he got reelected. He got elected that time, the next day or the day after. So he's, you know, body slamming fucking fake news reporters, right? I want to say it's 2016. Got reelected afterwards. So the House races are 2 years. So he was a House rep once, House rep twice. And guess what? Today he's the governor of fucking Montana. I shit you not. So goddamn, maybe Will Smith actually has, he's going to be the governor of motherfucking Utah. And Greg Giaforte is going to be, maybe that, you know, political violence. How many percentage? They said 20% of the respondents was okay with political violence. sometimes you got to have political violence, you know? It's just how it goes. It's kind of that's too high. It's too high of a number. And good on, you know, the president for disavowing. It's interesting. No to violence, and especially political violence. Oh, okay, says the politician. Just no to violence. There's no difference whether you're running for office or not. But I wonder, just as easily as you could imagine a politician body slamming a reporter and people saying, you know, to hell with the media, perhaps it could be done the opposite way. The reporter could body slam the politician, and then people say, sometimes political violence is necessary. Sometimes you got to body slam a politician. The Confederate bastards, they caned the crap out of Charles Sumner. Thaddeus Stevens,